Hi, everyone. Harry here to talk about a request that a federal judge has granted for the release of records relating to the Arlington Cemetery visit by Donald Trump and his entourage. So you may recall this several weeks back. They went to visit. They violated the protocol. There was apparently even a sort of physical scuffle, and they then demeaned the military personnel who was trying to ask them not to take politically motivated pictures to use in a campaign. Just your sort of typical Trump throwing his weight around or doing whatever they want and violating the regs. And here, of course, part of a record of activity of real disrespect for even desecration of memory of military personnel. Okay, at the time there was a little bit of a puzzling situation, which is we learned it was opaque, but supposedly nothing was going to happen here. There was the possibility that maybe it was criminal trespass or assault. It didn't seem to be a crime to violate the regs of the Arlington Cemetery, though they had done so, but it did seem a fair political point about Trump's general attitude toward the military. But at the time, the supposed impediment was that the woman who was pushed around and victimized, the military person serving in Arlington, didn't want to bring any kind of action. And somehow that was a procedural prerequisite for learning about what had happened. It seemed odd because the regulation isn't about protecting the personnel on site, but rather the sanctity and respect for the cemetery. Nevertheless, it petered out for that reason until yesterday, when a federal senior judge, Paul Friedman, excellent judge, granted an expedited FOIA request for the record. So a watchdog group called American Oversight made a request under the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, and they made it to be expedited. And basically, the government was not expediting it, and there was some dispute. They were saying, well, you would be jumping over others in the line. But that's, of course, what expedited is about. And interestingly, here, we've had so many lawsuits where the specter of the election has come up, and judges have either tried to ignore it, like Judge Chutkin, or tried to tiptoe around it. The United States, even in Jack Smith, hasn't quite come out and said we needed to know these things by the election. Rather, they've just said there's a public right in knowing things, and sooner rather than later. But Friedman endorses the American Oversight's statement that this is a political issue and we need the records before, in case there's something important or illuminating there, before the election. And Friedman said to the government, you have until Friday, the 25th of October, to produce these records. So we're going to get them. It shows the operation of FOIA sometimes, and especially expedited, which requires an agency, if it's a proper expedited request, which he finds it is, you have to expedite it, the agency in charge, as soon as practicable. So that's what Friedman's order, he set the date. Practicable means Friday. So we're going to see what happened in that incident report. There were very conflicting accounts of it. Doesn't seem like from either side something that serious happened, rather just another example of sort of Trump bully boy tactics and pushing people around and just indifference to regulation and law. Although then in the aftermath, they disparaged the woman and implied that she was mentally unstable, just a common Trump trope for anyone who crosses them, etc. So it's a small little episode that in some ways is, very indicative of the man who would be president and who is in a dead heat with Kamala Harris going into the real home stretch. Now, all these things, as they've come out, and much more serious ones, really don't seem to have had much impact in the election. Nevertheless, that's why American Oversight seeks it, and we'll get the basic facts. And they will also underscore how the Trump team lied about the basic facts, would be my prediction. So there you go. Friday, stay tuned for a report about what really happened at Arlington Cemetery when the Trump team went in there indifferent to regulation and just looking to get a good photo for political purposes. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.